obviously it is about counting levels, which is something that we will do practically. And then I'll also teach you something also theory-wise. All right. So I'm just gonna pop my whiteboard here. Hopefully everyone can see it. So again, we go back to the basics, guys. Our market maker cycle, we've got a peak, level 1, level 2, level 3. Those who were in the live YouTube session yesterday, you saw how I drew 3 market maker cycles, and I said the other one is something like this. And then I said the other one is something like this. All right. And I specified that they are all the same. There's nothing different except that this one right here, you've got an extension of that level 3 because the dealer doesn't want to form the peak here. So the
But it's
dealer,
not showing though.
oh, it's not showing.
No, I can't see it.
Can anyone else see it?
No, 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 no.
Can, all right. All right, hold on a second. Mm. Okay, 6. Can you see it now?
Yes, 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 yes.
All right, wonderful. So we can see it, it's good. So I shared about these 3 and I said their only difference is that, oh, sorry about that. Their only difference is that the other one has an extension of a level there, which is level 3 extension. So instead of the dealer forming a peak right at that spot, he decides to go further and form a peak at a different area altogether. And I said this one, the dealer does not stay there for a long time. He quickly moves away from that area. And this is most common on 15 minutes time frames, whereby the dealer forms the peak, goes level 1, level 2, and then forms level 3. And instead of him waiting like this one into another day, he decides to reverse on the same day and then close the market probably in the same market open as in the morning, and then give us level 1 and goes away. And lastly being this one, which is more or less the perfect one that we always teach all the time. So they are not different. The only thing that you look at the tools like TDI, our patterns to actually see when the market is going to turn. Now, to add on to this, if a reset instead is going to happen, this is what you would expect. There are cases where a reset forms, like, for example, you've got a market going up and then you've got level 3 reset there, and then it continues up, and that's on the 200 EMA. There are cases where the market gives you a peak and goes up, goes like this, gives you a peak, and then gives you a reset right there in the same spot, and then continues going up, all right? And your reset is sitting there, your 200 EMA is also squeezed in there where the peak actually formed, or maybe there's an 800 on top there, or there isn't. There are cases like that. And then there are cases whereby the dealer forms a peak, goes 1, goes 2, and then goes 3. But these 3 now, instead of him forming a proper reset, you can only be able to see it or identify it from the 15 minutes time frame. He quickly taps the 50 EMA, all right, and then goes away. Yet on the 1 hour time frame, when you look at it, he is on the 50 EMA, not the 200. So you'll find the 200 maybe will be moving somewhere around there. So he taps the 50, forms a reset on the 15 minutes, and then continues the cycling, because this we then call the level 3 type of reset. Remember, level 3, it's more like a continuation of a trend. So you can have this kind of level 1 type of a reset where you have a push away from the peak. 1.58 DR forms a reset and goes away. You can have another one whereby they squeeze it around the peak area, which in this case becomes your type 2 of a reset. And then there's this one where it pins the 50 and then it goes away 3 levels up. Does that make sense? Because when you're counting your levels,
Yes, sir. Yes,
this
sir.
this is gonna be very crucial. You will see it happen in the market, and this too, you'll see it happen too on the market. I will show you examples, and you'll be like, what is really going on? Are we having 6 levels or whatsoever? Because you are not seeing the reset. You're expecting the reset to be on the 200, but it's not always the case that the reset will sit on the 200. So your London patterns are a definition or a type of how setups can even appear. Remember, we always say what we learn from BTMM, we expand it to higher time frames. So as much as it happens on the 15 minutes, it should also happen on the 1 hour, the 4 hour, etc. That is why you see gold instead of gold forming a peak, like I shared on one of my videos, instead of forming a peak and coming to the 200 EMA, instead gold formed the peak and then turned on the 50 EMA and just went up. And the 50 EMA was moving there, the 200 was there, the 800 was there, but it never wanted to interact with it on the 4 hour. If you look carefully, it just quickly left. But you would have expected that maybe it comes down here, but it didn't. So those are the things that you look at. It's not always the case that you expect to see a 200. And again, resets are determined by what time higher time frames are doing. All right, they are determined by what higher time frames are doing. So now this brings me to my next point, which is Kingsley momentum, right? If you have, say, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you've got a market consolidating from Sunday, and then it comes right here and it goes down as a sell. Probably it's finishing a previous cycle, and then it comes the following day on a Friday, and then it goes up, up, and then it decides to consolidate these 2 days. So can you see that you have the low of the week, and you probably have the high of the week here, because that's the highest point prices reach for that particular week. And in the middle, you do have 3, 1, 2. Now, what do you expect Monday to do? Okay, so this is Friday. This is Monday. This is Sunday. All right. So what do you expect Monday to do? You expect Monday to either stop hand high and then sell. All right. That's Monday next week. Stop and high and then sell. And if the market wants to continue the trend, you'll find already there's going to be a 200 sitting there. And maybe the market won't reach that 200. And then on Tuesday, the market will stop and low, reach that 200, and then continue to go up. Or rather consolidate and end the day and then continue to go up on a Wednesday. But because you are looking at that pair, you're already frustrated because it is not doing what you want it to do. Yet, on higher time frames, you had a very nice, let's say, for example, bullish candle, and then you had another one form, but it started, oh, sorry about that. It started by first tapping maybe halfway of that candle, let's just assume, and then pushed up. All right. Or maybe let me not just say it pushed up, but let me say it only did this up to the week. All right. So that it becomes at least real. Okay. So you've got a scenario like this one. So now what it then means is that this part right here, okay? This part right here is this part right here, okay? Right there. So you've got your market open, which is that part there. And then you've got the market pushing down, which is this there. And then already you know your bias that I want this pair to buy or sell for the rest of the week, whatever it is, right? So you want this pair to buy for the rest of the week and potentially even next week. But because you saw a sell and you saw Tuesday, the market is actually facing down and they've probably broken the low here, all right? And they are trading below there. And then you start to ask yourself, does that even make sense? You know, because you are focusing on candles, but you're not focusing on the trend. That is one thing that I want you guys to, you know, shift your attention from. That is what you need to change. Stop focusing on candles because candles can do whatever they want, all right? It does not change anything. Candles can decide to go up, go down, do whatever, all right? But focus on the trend. So you have your market selling there because it's probably selling from last week. And then now on Tuesday, your market trades low. Or sometimes your market, instead of rising here on Tuesday, it decides to trade low and hold. And then on the following day, then it starts to rise. But it gave you a setup. On the following day, it starts to rise. It gave you a setup on a Tuesday right there. You did not see it because at the back of your mind, you're like, I think this is a sell. This is not a buy. All right. This is just a sell. That is where you get it all wrong, right? Now, moving forward, then your green candle starts to print out now. Your green candle starts to print out until it closes right there, which is this point here. So this is your market open, and this is where your candle is closing, all right? And again, your candle closed at a consolidation. So you're probably asking yourself, what is Monday going to do? Is Monday going to stop and low or stop and high? Is this a continuation? What's going on? And then Monday, instead of giving you the reset that you are looking for, which is the 200 EMA one, which we were talking about, the Monday instead decides to give you the 50 EMA kind of reset. All right, just a second. It decides to give you the 50 EMA kind of reset. And in this case, it just squeezes right there and then continues going up. Now your 200 is somewhere right there, which is the 800 on the 15 minutes time frame, and your 50 is actually the 200, and then it decides to go up. Now what it then means is on your higher time frame, which is the weekly, the market just pushed a little lower right there, and then it has decided to push high up. So look at how you have missed the move because you are looking at candles. Now, let me quickly wrap this. So this is one thing that you need to kind of pay attention to, guys. Don't focus on candles, but focus on the trend. For example, your USD pairs, some of them gave you a peak. They went 1, 2, 3, they went reset, they went 1, 2, 3, and they were sitting right there. Oh, sorry about that. So peak 1, 2, 3, reset 1, 2, 3, and then they were sitting right here with news coming, sitting on the 50 EMA there with news coming, all right? Some of them, they actually said pick 1, 2, 3, then they pushed up and they said 1, 2, 3, something like this. And again, sitting there at the 50 EMA because there is news. So there are only two things. Number one, news can buy or news can sell, all right? Now, I personally do not encourage people to trade news. It's entirely up to you if you want to trade it. But news will either complete the trend or hit stops. All right. News can either complete the trend or hit stops. In this case, or what happened last week, news then pushed down and went all the way down. And then after that, news closed its candle right there. All right. Some people were asking me like, about your entries, what happens? It's not about entries, but it's about the psychology behind the market trend. So I knew that, okay, news are clearing stops. So where is my entry going to be? I'm going to take my entry there. All right. And just hold. And when they finished closing this candle, they gave you another one, which probably swept the low of that candle. And then after that, it started closing above and they started gradually consolidating there into the next day. And the following day, they went up. Now, can you see how my entry is like? It's actually at a good place of a peak formation. That is the benefit of having news happen at a peak formation area, because you know there are two things that will happen. Number one, either they break the low and close fairly lower, and then from there, you know, okay, this is no longer a buy setup, this will continue being a sell, or they pull back and close within the range. It is not a coincidence, guys. It is never a coincidence. So the market does that on purpose. All right. Like I said, I'm going to show you examples. So let's go to the chart, okay? Let me know if you can't see my screen. Right, we're back in the charts. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
All right, wonderful. I'm trying this new pen tooling. It's fun to use. So sometimes I often make mistakes with it. Anyways. All right. So what we were explaining, guys, let me try and show you examples. I'll try and pick maybe a pair that everyone is familiar with. All right. Now, if you look at what you see here and begin to count your levels, you'll realize that this is probably a reset, right? This is probably a reset. This is probably a full cycle, and this is probably another cycle. If you count your levels correctly, I'm not going to count for you, but you will count for me. All right. Now, if we do something like this one, you're probably going to find you have a full cycle there, a peak there. I've already seen my levels, all right? And a peak there, and then a full cycle there. Now, notice how in this area right here, the market did not even touch the 200 EMA. News instead pushed down towards that 200 EMA. And then after that, they quickly pushed away. All right. I'm just going to show you again. I'll try and zoom it. That is why news happen at certain times. It's for a reason. Okay. Now, all right, hold on a second. Maybe before we explain that, let's come to this one. You've got a peak formation already formed on this one, all right? And the peak formation is already formed. What you see is market moving, and then the next thing, you've got a push, a big candle pushing up, and that was news as well. I remember this day, it was news. And after the market is gone all the way up, what you have now is a level one rise, all right? But then before next week, you've got again news, which is on this particular day. You've got news again on this particular day. And news is actually pushing the opposite direction, right? It's pushing the opposite direction. And because you have seen level one rise, level two rise, what you're expecting is what? Level three rise. So that push by news against the trend is an opportunity. All right? It is an opportunity. Reason being, a basic market maker cycle has a peak level one, level two, and level three. This is how we always draw it. There are certain cases where, all right, not certain cases, but level two behavior is a bit lengthy. So you will expect the market to go peak level one, level two, and most probably you have, let me try and change my pen color. You have the 200 EMA moving here, and then it touches that. All right. And then the 200 EMA continues going up. I'm going to put also the 800 on the 200, right? It then goes and pins on the 800 before it goes to level 3. Check this on the charts. You'll see it happen all the time. Sometimes the level 2 does not pin on the 200, but it goes and pins on the 800. So you're expecting a setup, but your setup does not appear on the 200, but it happens on the 800. Then the market quickly goes up. All right. Let's see if we can find anything. Hold on a second. Let's see if we can find something. I think I once saw something on USD MXN, if I'm not mistaken. I think I once saw something on USD MXN. Let's see if we can find it here. This is a very nice reset, so there are not any issues here. Unfortunately, it's not on the USD MXN, but all I'm trying to show you is this, guys. All right, I'll try and use this as an example. Right, you've got USD MXN. This is a very nice cycle right here. Can you see what it did? So this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and Monday. So you've got Monday starting here, all right? You've got Monday starting here. So already you know what your higher time frame weekly candle is doing. So your Monday is chopping, all right? And then pushes down and gives you a setup there. Probably that setup is to finish the previous trend. Tuesday gives you a setup as well, and then pushes all the way up to level 3, right? Let's try and see what's going on the other side. So this is probably all level 3 behavior because it's more or less in the same area. But anyway, nonetheless, this is what I want to explain. So now, as soon as the market has formed the high of the week, all right, you are expecting a sell on this. You have actually analyzed that I'm on level 3 and I'm expecting a sell. What the market does is it then pushes away, all right, and comes into level 1. Now look at the stop hand on level 1. So this is your Asian box, and the stop hand is not that big, but it's still a stop hand. First of all, probably your Asian box ends here. Let's assume the market pushes down and gives you something that looks like a type 3. Remember when I said we don't trade type 3s, because what we want is we want to trade above the Asian box or in line with the Asian box high. We don't want to trade from below, because if you try and enter a sell here, you will be in a big loss when the market comes back up there, or it can even blow your account before you even get in profit. All right. That is why we don't touch type 3. And then what happens is you then see something that now looks like a buy. All right. Now, this is where most of you make a mistake. You are at high of the week. Everything aligns with the sell. But because this particular day has issued you a sweep below, right? First of all, it started looking like a nice M, and then all of a sudden it turns out to be a W, and this is how it is looking now, right? And you are now starting to get confused that I think this is probably a buy. It can't be a sell now. Why is it a sell? It should be a buy. You are now starting to get confused. And when you are still deliberating, the dealer pulls away from you. Reason is because he has given you a pick. So he has no business going back there. If the dealer decides to continue buying back to the peak, this is why we have what we call a what? a stop loss. So you probably did not enter the previous day and you want to enter on this day, right? Most probably, maybe you might not have a setup, especially if you're scared. You might not have a setup there. But if you are not scared, you could have been sitting here, maybe with your sell limit, or waiting for the market to trade above the Asian box. Then you can take your sell, right? That's another thing. You're waiting for the market to trade above your Asian box. And then as soon as that happens, maybe you open a 1 minute time frame or 5 minute. It's entirely up to you, because it's not always the case that the market will come out of the Asian box and give you a nice M, then it sells. It's not always the case. However, if this is the type of trade that you trade, this that I'm explaining here is not your type of trade. So don't even attempt trading it, because it is not your type of trade. You need to choose the type of trade that you want. Do you want to trade peaks? Do you want to trade an IT50? Do you want to trade in safety trade? What kind of trade are you comfortable trading? And just trade that and forget the rest. All right. Now, they only gave you one leg above the Asian box and they quickly sold, right? So my point is, on the second day, which is the level 2, again, you have the same thing, right? High of your Asian box there, and then the dealer decides to trade above it, all right? This time around, I don't think they even went below the Asian box. They just traded above it. And there's a small M outside there, a very small one. Probably you might have not seen it, but they traded above. And again, your TDI being your friend, if we open it, we probably might have, yeah, we might have a bounce there, a bounce on MBL right there. I don't know if it's clear. A bounce on MBL right there. All right. But that is not important. What I'm trying to bring to your attention is this now. Level 2, instead of the market doing what it did, it then decides either to go to the 200 and sell, or go to the 800 and sell. That's level 2 behavior for you. And in some cases, for example, in this case, because your level 1 is sitting there, probably your level 2 was not gonna do that. But if it was a scenario where maybe your level 1 is this one instead, your level 2 being this one, then with this whole thing being a move away from that level, then definitely you are going to expect that to come to the 800 EMA, because it's not interfering with level 1, because level 1 will be sitting here. So level 2 comes back down to the 200 and then goes down. So that is what you'll be expecting. So if we move to the higher time frame now, say the 4-hour, let's see what the 4-hour did. Check the 4-hour. Last week, the market formed the high, all right? The market formed the high. And because you know that this market, I don't know if you remember when I was showing you a perfect cycle on USD MXN, and you had this whole nice buy there and the reset and the continuation of a buy, all right? And this being the 200 on H1 and the continuation of a buy. And if you count your levels, you'll find that where you are here is actually level 3. So you're on level 3 and you're anticipating that the market will sell, right? So the market gave you a setup right on this high. And for those who also do other strategies, there is also a reason why the market turned around here. always look to your left and see what's also going there. Some may call it resistance. I don't know, but that is how the market reacted to that previous high. Did not break the high, but tested it, and then it moved away. So already you should have known that, okay, this is now a sell setup, right? And it even gave you a nice ID50 there. This is the 4-hour time frame, right? It gave you a nice ID50 there. So you are seeing it printing out, and you are not taking out last week's high. So by not taking out last week's high, that should signal to you that, yes, we are respecting this high. We are not taking out this high. So that means the market is ready to sell. And also, having analyzed your higher time frames, you're looking into a sell. This is the 4-hour time frame. You're only seeing the move during the week. Now let's look at, obviously the daily will not help us with anything, but the weekly should, right? So on your weekly, you know that the market is a buy, right? You've got this whole nice buying momentum going up. But remember what I was telling you, this week right here is representing what you see on H1. And remember how we did not take out the highs, right? We did not take out the highs, and we are in level 3. So you are anticipating a sell. So already when you take this sell, you are watching even your weekly time frame, and you're looking and you're like, okay, I can see how the market is trading, pulling backwards, right? The market is actually pulling backwards away from those highs. It's pulling away from the peak, and it wants to give you a full cycle. Now, the market, now, how do you know the market is going to give you a full cycle? If you go to your H4 or your H1, because you're already in the trade, you have seen the market take out the last low, all right? You can see how they took it out, interacted with it, tested it, and went down. Again, people who trade price action, they will tell you support was broken, retested, whatever. But you can see how they took out the last swing low right here. And after taking out the last swing low, then the market decided to push away because they are trading away from the peak formation. Now, from the 1-hour time frame, even to refine it further, the last swing low in this case is this one right here. Your swing low gets taken out. Or maybe let's just say you didn't take this sell on this day because you were not sure, right? And then you come to this following day. Now you're watching that your market is closed below the last swing low for H4, because remember, you haven't seen all this at the bottom. The only thing you can see is this candle close below. Now that should signal you that the market is actually on a downtrend, right? And now you can confirm that, yeah, definitely this is a sell. Then you start to look for sell setups and you trade away from the peak. So don't look at candles, because if you look at candles, then this candle right here will make sense to you. It will make sense to you because you'll be looking at it and be like, this looks like a buy. Why is it pushing like this? Now, you can see all your EMAs are above and not below, but still you're now confused and you're like, I don't think this is a sell. And then the next thing, you've got this candle pushing away from you. Then the next thing, you are chasing price, right? Because you're no longer sure. You're just chasing price. And again, your market will sweep the low of the previous day, all right? Your market will sweep the low of the previous day, somewhere right here. That is, with that small movement that we're talking about on the 15 minutes time frame, that is how they swept the low, because they respected it and closed some candles below, then went up into this range, all right, and then quickly took it away and just moved away, you know. So you not only did they break the law of the day, not only did they break the law of the day, but they also broke the law, the last swing law, all right? And they formed the high of the law. So everything is ticking for you that, yes, the market is currently on a downtrend. And again, with other USD pairs, when you look at them, you're like, oh yeah, the market is actually on a downtrend. So, okay, I want us to then count levels on USD pairs. Now, I want you to see what I saw last week, the reason why I said the market was going to buy. So I want you to see that and tell me if you can see it. If you can't see it, then what we're doing here is probably playing, guys. So I want you to show me that, oh yeah, I can see what you saw last week, the reason why you said the market is going to buy. And while people were not aware, this is the whole buy that you see right here. The market actually went up. So I want someone to count levels for me and then tell me the reason why they probably did not see that move happening. So we're gonna start counting levels from this end right here. Who wants to start?
Hey, Coach, I actually wanted to break down NU chart. I do see the buy that you're saying
All
on that
right.
chart.
NU chart.
Yeah, but I was having issues with the I think time frame blending. You stated that you were going to go over
Yes.
All right, so looking at what you have here. Hold on. Okay, so I can count this one right here. So this right here was a whole level, a whole 4-hour level, and then it had the pullback right there, and then you had level 1, level 2, and then level 3. Had the M right there, and then went up level 1. Now this is exactly what I had issues with, or I'm having issues with. So did I count that properly? Was that correct? What you see currently?
Hold on a second. Let me see if this becomes our peak. That'll be our first push, that'll be our second push. Now, I might say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that you counted correctly, based on 15 minutes time frames. Reason being, on the 15 minutes time frame, definitely all these that you see here are levels, all right? All these that you see here are levels. And you've got your level 3 there, your reset there, and then you've got your 1, your 2, your 3. Where I have an issue with is here, where the market marked the low. And on this particular day, it doesn't really look like they closed below the low. So that is where I've got an issue. But the way you counted is 100% correct, right? It's correct. There's nothing wrong with it. If I was going to count it myself, I would count it this way. That is why I said if Euro USD is at level 3, it doesn't mean that the other USD pairs are also at level 3. Now watch this. What if I count this way and say this whole thing right here is a peak formation? Because looking at the previous cycle, I can be so sure that this whole thing right here is a peak formation. Or if I want, I can mark this from here to there as my peak formation, right? Now that means
that would make it a. I mean, I understand that because that would make it a Batman, right? Not
yes, not an M, but a Batman, all right?
Right.
Yeah, a
right,
Batman. And they actually closed the market there, all right? So meaning they didn't really move on this particular day. The only first level that I then count is this one, right? That then becomes my first drop into a consolidation, and that becomes my second drop. Now, if you look to your right-hand side, you'll find this day does not close below, this day does not, this day does not. What then you were calling a reset? It is a reset if you are counting from 15 minutes time frame. That is the examples that I was looking for, where the market actually pulls to the 800 EMA. But if you watch your law here, you will realize that the only thing missing here is this drop. All right. And then you come into level 3. This is why I then started saying, guys, USD pairs have changed direction. I remember saying it on this particular day because I had counted and seen that, okay, we are now at level 3. I'm expecting the market to reverse. And the market reversed and then started pinning on the 50. Now, by pinning on the 50, there are two things involved. Number one, if the market pins on the 50, it's either it will continue or it's forming a bigger peak, all right? So that is what I actually saw. Now, with news coming, okay, I was not focused on news because news didn't matter to me. Because remember, I said this is a buy. And when I said it's a buy, it was actually sitting below here with the second leg coming here. Let me try and rub all this. It was actually sitting below here, all right? And I said this is a buy. And news pushed down and news closed the news candle within the law, right? And again, if you are trading candles, if you see the next candle and the next candle, you think, yeah, this is not a buy. And fair enough, it does not look like it is a buy because that's what you are seeing, right? But I was seeing a different thing altogether. I'm seeing level 3 behavior. So I want to see those candles pull back into the range because I've already marked my first low of level 3 being this one. So I want to see those candles right there pulling back into the range, right? Remember what I said? The market can consolidate and then push down below whatever low or swing high you have marked and stay there for a short while before it trades right back into and then gives you a setup and it swipes away. Now, that position which I had there, it becomes in good profit, all right, eventually, because other USD pairs are actually showing me perfect setups, all right? So those are two ways you can count your levels. Now, with this whole behavior, all right, with this whole behavior, if you shift to the 4-hour time frame, then on the 4-hour time frame, definitely I will tell you you've got 2 levels, all right? You've got 2 levels. You are 100% right by having 2 levels. So you can count your levels on 15 minutes, on 1 hour, on 4 hours. You are still going to get to the same result. It doesn't change anything, all right? You'll get to the same result. Now, notice how where I marked my law right here, the law of the peak, not a single candle closed below that low on the 4-hour. Don't mind this candle because this is market open candle. This one right here, let me show you from the H1, the market open candle. I don't regard it every time when I'm analyzing this one right here, where spread opens and then it just chops up and down, all right? But if you look at it, no candle closed below that low that you set there on the 1 hour, they all traded above that low. So it's very good to flip timeframes and see what timeframes are really doing. They traded above that low and they made sure that they closed this news candle above. And the next one, same thing, all right? If you focus on candles, candles are going to deceive you because you think maybe the market is not really doing what it's supposed to do. Maybe it has changed or what. Nothing has changed. It's still the same thing. And again, the same thing on this particular day, right? On this particular day, when we were talking about news, this was news as well. Remember, I think this was NFP when I said I want to see the market push a little further up, and it did push up nicely with this NFP candle. And again, some people caught this whole move pushing down, which is very good because that means you are catching the trend and not news, all right? Because people were fixated into saying, we expect news to push down, all right? That is where the problem is because you are focusing on a candle and not the trend. A news candle is just 1 minute and it's all done. That's all there. What you see after that is not news, is the trend. All right. Now, look at what the market does towards news. On this particular day, if you had counted your 15 minutes levels, all right, you would have gotten your level 3, right? Or even if you had said, okay, I'm going to treat these as my levels because those are your 15 minutes levels, you would have gotten to your level 3, right? Now, notice this. They push up and form a high and push down. Remember the rule of three that we always talk about. And that could be a small 15 minutes level on its own. And then they push further up into number 2 and they close in consolidation. And what happens on the next day? News push 3. Remember the diagram that I showed you earlier on? Level 1, level 2, level 3, level 1, level 2, level 3, all right? This is what you see here. So they pushed with news up, and at the same time, whilst they're doing that, they are also testing the neck of that M right there. So that's what they're aiming for, to test the neck of the peak. So they gave you 1, they gave you 2, they gave you 3, and then they quickly trade away from you. So, you know, in the middle of having big levels, all right, in the middle of having big levels, I hope someone will get this, there are small levels.
That's actually what my point was getting at with the H4.
Yes.
So if you go to let's say let me look at D1. Go to try D1.
D1.
I really want to go over this to understand my time frame blending. Okay. So if we look at D1. D1, I have it. I have actually NU going up or creating a midweek reversal, and I'll show you exactly why I came to that conclusion. So you have the I can go this down. Okay. So you have the three hits to the bottom. You have to the bottom. And then what made a difference is if you look at, well, except for this one, but if you look at this one, you had the 3 hits to the top. So forming a full level for your daily. So that's a full level for your daily. A pullback, I think it's going to reset, right? This is my, so building off of this is how I create what I'm trying to get into in my higher time frame blending. So if you can do the 4 hour for me, and this is where I'm probably get mixed up. If you go over, okay, so this was if you see the wick right there on that candle that created the second leg. So this level right,
that was news as well.
That wasn't, I wouldn't count that as my first level. because they went down and created the W. So I would count this right here as my first level, pull back, count that right there. This is my second level, and this was like an extended third because if you look at the TDI. So, and this is going off the 4 hours. So I'm counting 3 weeks to give me 3 levels, right? Now, but I was thinking that the NU or USD will sell this week, but only for a midweek reversal because you have one level there, pull back, one level here, pull back. I'm looking for it. I would think that because at the 200, most people would think that it would swap from the 200 and go up like that. But I'm thinking that down 3 levels for the third level and then pull up. And that would be right with the higher time frame going up, which is like the daily or the weekly.
Yes. Now, notice this. Notice how your higher time frame, I'm just going to put trend lines here. Your move to the upside, how long it is, and your move to the downside, how short it is. All right?
Right.
Even
so
if,
saying,
yeah.
It's I'm sorry, Coach.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Go on.
That like you said, it's with the momentum. The momentum.
Yes.
The momentum of the trend is all moving in 3 levels. It's just the momentum of the trend. So when you're trending, price will move faster and higher than when you're pulling back if it's going to reset.
Yes, correct. So that means you are expecting anything around either on the 800 and a buy, or just the 200 and a buy. All right. So that's what you're expecting. Now you expect big momentum going that direction.
Now, why would I expect because we understand now that NU is on the second level. Why would I expect why wouldn't it go 3 levels instead of 2 because of the 200? I don't understand because I'm looking for 3.
That's a very good question. Now, remember, when the market forms a peak, goes level 1, goes level 2, and then goes level 3. And then a perfect reset sits at the 200 EMA. And by sitting at the 200 EMA, this here is 1.5 ADR. All right? 1.5 ADR. Now, how much ADR do we have there? 109. All right. Let me try and draw a box. 109. 109 is, let me put it maybe somewhere there. I know my second leg is this one, but I'll just put it there. And then we've got another 109. All right. Do you see that? Where you are sitting now, you are at your 1.5 ADR there. That is where you're sitting at your 1.5 ADR. So you are expecting to see a reset, all right? That is what you want to see. So a reset, okay? Every time when a dealer forms, let me use a white pen. When he forms a peak and then goes level 1, goes level 2, and then goes level 3, it always looks like he did 1 and 2 and then turned around, all right? But this is not actually 2 levels. This is why when we were on H1, I said to you, yes, according to 15 minutes time frame, you are counting very correctly, but according to 1 hour, this is a full cycle. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does. So instead of looking for the 3 levels of pullback, I should be looking for the ADR of the 1.5.
Keep your options open. All right. Keep your options open. if the dealer decides to throw in, he's going to throw in a very nice W. If it decides to throw in a nice W at the 200 EMA there, I'll gladly tell you to take the buy and forget about the 800 because he might not get there. All right. Hold on a second. Let's see what our TDI is saying. If you look at our TDI, where we are sitting now, we are pretty much very close to the MBL there. We are very close to the MBL. So whatever is going to happen on the 1 hour, my own idea of this trade is that the 1 hour will probably come here back to the 800 EMA and just hold price there, probably until Wednesday, and then continue for a buy. Or instead of doing that, price might give me complete levels up until somewhere there, because it's still not too far away from that week, and then go for a buy. Again, you might not see this turnaround this week. It might even turn around next week. You get my point? It might even turn around next week. Because in as much as this is the law that we were dealing with, remember, just by the market tapping the wick there, that's a law on its own. So if you go to the 4-hour time frame, you are expecting those two laws to be dealt with. It might be this one, it might be that one. And remember, your 800 EMA also moves. Look at where your ADR law is. Your ADR law is in between the low and the 800 EMA. So your 800 EMA is not that far. It's not really that far. Whatever price does, it might just easily end up being there at the end of the day. So it's not far, but then your levels might not be, it might not be a big push all the way up there. Yeah, well, that can happen as well, right? Don't get me wrong, that can happen as well. If we look for the the W time frame, because you need to keep your options open, right? Look at the W time frame. The W time frame, this is how it looks like. So you already know that NZD USD might give you a sell before it gives you a buy. So you might have your candle bearish, maybe up to that point there before it turns around. Or they might want to first give you a small wick here, which is testing the previous high that they formed when they pushed for a buy, and then come back down until they reach maybe halfway that candle, then you can see a buy. So you are keeping your options open and also waiting to see what your H1 does. So your levels are very important, guys. Check your levels. Like I'm saying, price may come like this and then come down, or price may continue down. So all those things can happen. You just wait for price to play out, but also having in mind that whatever is going to happen on the 4-hour, you are looking at those lows to see what the market does around those lows or just below those lows. Does it make sense?
It does. I got it, Coach. I got it.
All right. Someone is saying coming back to tap the neck of the W. That is very possible as well. It's very much possible. So keep your options open, guys. Keep your options open. All right. Someone wants to do another pair. It's already 7:39. Don't worry, we won't be able to do all pairs, but it doesn't matter. What matters is the information that you get, and then from there we send charts and discuss on the group. There's nothing wrong with that. Anyone wants to discuss one more pair? Hopefully it's not gonna be gold. Because I'm pretty sure we have said a lot about gold.
Coach, it's because of me that you said that it's not going to be good, though. I know. But just give me anyone you like.
Yes, it's because of
I know.
you. We're not going to talk about gold.
Me, so I know.
I
So
wanted someone here.
just
I wanted
carry on.
someone to do EU.
Okay.
Who wants to do
Let's see.
EU? EU,
Let me
please,
let me
because
see
I
the
know
EU.
EU is very important. Yeah.
Let me see EU. Let me see EU. Okay. I think that's 1 hour because the chart is very, very slow, tiny, but I will manage it. Looking at the chart,
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Please, the network is the feeding back late here. So looking at the chart
Slowly, okay.
from this top, that will be on the 26th of August. We can see the second leg on the 27th that he gave us. He stomp on to stomp on the neck that he gave to us on the 23. So that's why where I confirm my level 1. So my peak formation level 1. Let me pick a pencil here so that we can all get what I'm saying here. This is a neck that they came to test, like what you explained to us. So they came back to test that neck. So to give us, this is our level 1. This is my level 2 here. And this is my level 3. Now, they just extended it a little bit. They are still maintaining the same low. They are still maintaining the same low here, which they push this one, they push this 2, and this tampon to give us the 3. But there are sometimes I don't count it as 3, but I will count it as 3 based on 15 minutes time frame. I will count as 3 based on 15 minutes time frame. So now they give us a drop here, which is 1 to me. They gave me a drop here, which is 2. And they gave me a drop here, which is the third one. But looking at this, I think, oh, network, come on, don't pop up now. So,
let me move the chart to the right-hand side.
yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry, I rubbed off your stuff.
So can you just help me to shift the distance to the So now looking at that from this level here, I can see something very, very clear here. This is 1, 2. This is my third one here. Yeah, that which you just mark here is my third. And they gave us a push to the top. Literally, people would have said that this is a peak formation here. This is a W because they gave us the first leg here. They gave us a second leg here. But to my own discipline, I don't like this type of formation. But I love it when they move on like this. They gave me this M on 15 minutes. They drop it back. They gave me W here. Then this is when I will confirm my peak formation, which it now rose up to the top there, which is my level 1. Now, based on this, some people will say they are giving us M formation here. Could that be that it's resetting? If this market wanted to reset here, I don't think that it should give us this far. If you don't have given us this far, it should have given us a range here, holding like this. Even though if you want to stomp on, it should be a very strong one, then come back with a pin bar and begin to continue. So what I'm expecting on this hero is just to pull back down here. And if I'm going to conclude that, I would like to go to 4 hours to also validate what I am saying here. To validate what I'm saying here.
Okay.
So I will go to 4 hours to validate it. Because I love working with 1 hour and 4 hours. I love the current formation. Current information is what I always love. Maybe because me, I'm just an intraday. I don't like holding for long. Come to the market, see what I want, then get what I need. So what I'm just expecting here is that I'm expecting them to come and bounce on this 50 or come to the neck of this W they did here. That is only what I'm expecting. So I'm still expecting this price to push to the top. Maybe literally they should come back to the high that they created before they will now drop, which will now be a multi M. That means it will be a weekly M or a monthly M. That is my submission.
Okay. Very good. And again, guys, I'll show you a good example. All right. Now I'm becoming a price action person. See that? Look at the momentum. All right. Just gonna put my trend lines there. Look at the pullbacks. All right. And the momentum will always make sure that they break the previous high. Okay. But forming new lows. So that on its own should tell you something. So these are weeks of trading, all right? And you're gradually increasing. And just notice how you've got midweek reversals pretty much almost everywhere. For those who, who don't know midweek reversals, this is a midweek reversal. This is a midweek reversal. All this right here, because it's your Tuesdays and Wednesdays where you expect the market to reverse. All these places right here, they are your midweek reversals. All this, sorry, that one right there, and going up there. You notice how they are forming lows, new lows, and breaking highs, all right? So what you then expect generally is that you expect that to continue because your weekly time frame is the one fueling that. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. So your weekly time frame is the one fueling that. So as you can see from here, how this was happening. Some of it from the weekly time frame is just weeks. Some of it, they are proper moves. This being a low, oh, what's going on? This being a low, that being a low, that being a low, and this being a new low. So that means we have formed a new low. That should be a new high, and new high, right? So we have formed a new low. Now, lows are very important. Okay, lows and highs are very important, guys. Just by forming a new low and a new high, it does not mean they are not going to be broken, but it simply means at some point they are going to be respected. Let's see what D1 is showing us. All right. I'm trying to put a point across so you guys may understand, okay? Notice how when the price is about to turn around, they form clear moves. Clear moves when they're about to turn around, like they form clear setups. You're finding those peak formations in key areas when they're about to turn around. I know some of you might say, I can't see any W there, but I can see them myself. In the middle, you can't really see any
very clear.
Yes, in the middle, there are no W's that you can see there. It's just candles going at a certain direction, whether they are selling or they are buying. But when it's time to then turn around, they give you a nice setup. So this is the same thing that you would want to see here. So ideally, you would want your market to come down. Look at where your market is and look at where that low, that peak formation is. If the market is going to push down, ideally you would want the market to come back down here and respect the law. You want the market to come and respect the law and then push up. So you watch the law and see what the market does. Now, by respecting the law, I'll put this point across. All right. From the way I look at it, whatever candle forms the law for me, the candle that will come after should not close below the wick. In this case, this is what formed the law, all right? And in this case, this is what has formed the law. I don't know if you can see it. If a law is formed and I'm expecting price reversals, I do not expect any candle to close with its body below that law. I expect candles to close with its body pretty much above if we are going up. But if we are going down, that has to be below. For example, here as well, right there, this is where you see all those candles. The green candle probably marked your low and the red candle went out and went back in. Same applies here. So you can see that your lows are being respected. And the same thing with your highs as well. They are being respected too. So if this be your law and has been respected like this, if the market were to come down, you do not expect the market to trade below, or you do not expect the market to close that candle below. The moment the market closes that candle below, then you have a new law altogether. I don't know if that makes sense. It means you have a new law altogether. So your lows and highs, they are very important. Now, someone might say, maybe the market is coming down to this, to trade here and go up. That's a possibility too.
Exactly.
At this point, we don't, yes, at this point, we don't know, but that is a possibility too, right? So we want to see what the market will do exactly. Is it going to trade there? Which is why I always say no setup, no trade. The reason why I say that is to try and encourage you to wait for setups to appear. Again, look at your ADR low. Your ADR low is sitting in the same area. So if the market decides to push back to the peak, right, that is where you expect your ADR low to be. Now, I'm going to say this, and hopefully you can hear my point clearly, okay? You have a peak formation here, right? You have a peak formation that you saw, and you saw this is level 3. At the moment, all that you have is a buy, all right? All that you have is a buy. So what do you expect is the market to give you a setup and then continue to buy. Will that happen today? We don't know. We work with the information that we have. If the market comes to this area and gives you a setup and trades away from the peak, then fair enough. If the market decides to come down and test the peak one more time, fair enough still. But what we have, the information we have now is that we want a retest and a buy. That's the information that we have. That is how you need to treat charts. That's all you can see at the moment. That's all you know. If the market were to go further down, then expect a different outcome altogether. That is why I always say, keep your options open. That's what I mean by keeping your options open, because you cannot be 100% so sure that this is exactly what the market will do, and you're not changing from it. The market will come down. It will not turn around. You do not know. No one knows about that, all right? Until the market plays out. So keep your options open, either at the neck area or back down at the peak. That's all we know at this point. Or they can just continue to buy from there and just go up. That's a possibility too. So keep your options open, but based on the price action that we can see at the moment, we are only witnessing the market forming lower lows, and at the same time forming lower lows and higher lows. All right, higher lows. It is only at the point where a certain law is going to be respected, that is when we will know that the trend has changed. All right, so keep an eye on that too, about laws. As soon as a law has been respected, then you know that, oh yeah, a trend has changed. I love how this happened here. Look at that. I love this. Look at this. Oh, sorry about that. Look at how your law is getting so much respected after printing those lower highs and lower lows. The time they print this law, they come back to it, they respect it, they come back to it. The moment they start to respect a certain law, then you know that something is about to happen. All right. But again, you can't use that as a setup and just say, oh yeah, they respected the law, so I'm going to, to take a setup. You have to look at the bigger picture. All right. Look at the picture. I said let's do Euro USD because I felt like it drives a lot of USD pairs, and oftentimes it gets people a little bit confused. And again, Euro USD did form a peak, and it did give you those three nice drops to the low there. Three nice drops to the low. I know I'm marking this one and not this one, but it's still the same thing. It's still the same area, because all this is a peak formation, all right? And then again, like I said, you've got those three pushes up, and your last push on the 15 minutes time frame to test the neck of the peak, and then a quick reversal from there on. So remember what I was showing you earlier on when we started this. That is exactly what I was showing you. So this is where we are now. According to how we want things to be, we want to see this. That is what we want to see according to what is going on now. Whether that will happen, we will see, but that is what we expect. So anything else, whether there is news or whatever you can think of, I want you to switch your mind off and focus on the trend. Do not focus on candles, news. There's going to be this kind of news. I think the market is going to push down, market is going to push up or whatever. That doesn't matter. It doesn't add value to you because it is just a 1 minute candle reacting to the market, no matter how long it can be. It's just a 1 minute candle. Focus on the trend. I wanted to show you before we close one last interesting thing that happened in the market. I'm pretty sure some of you can remember it. Look at this. I want you to see how this candle is like. And up there sits a peak formation. You can check it for yourself. Yeah, that looks more better. Up there sits a peak formation. And notice what took place there. You are busy counting your levels, and maybe, let's say, I know this week would have made things a little bit difficult, but you get to, all right, hold on. You get to your reset here, all right? Because that to me would definitely be 1.5 ADR. And then you see your first move up, your second move up, and your third move up. What do you expect on the next day? You expect the market to drop down and sell. Now, where are we? We are in or around the same high as last week. All right. Flip your 4 hour, see something different. Your 4 hour is telling you that, yes, that's a big peak formation. Now look at this move. Look at this move. And I can guarantee you, people who trade other strategies, respect to other strategies, they were thinking we might have the market pulling back around here to fill an imbalance or order block or whatever. And guess what? The market never did. Ever since that time, the market has been on a selling spree, pushing down. It never filled that area. And I know it probably defies certain what you call this strategies, and people thinking, but why would something like that happen? Because we expect the market to go back, and probably someone took a buy there and said, I'm going to counter trade until we go all the way up there, and the market never did. Do you know why? Your levels are very important, guys. 1, 2, 3 levels. On the next day, we respect the high of yesterday and we respect the high of last week. And we are forming a multi-days peak formation. What happens next? The market sells. That was news. That's why I said when news is moving in the correct trend, expect huge momentum when news is moving in the correct trend. Look at how small it is on the D1. Very tiny up there. It is very tiny on the D1. That's that candle there. But on smaller time frames, it's a huge move because it's in the direction of the trend. But if it was against the trend, because it has to respect certain lows and highs, it might not have that much of an impact. That's why when I see sometimes news move just like 20 pips or 15 pips, people get excited. Oh yeah, news did this. We did get money. That's really nothing, because if news were to move the correct trend, they actually do move. Let me show you another one, Euro USD. This day that we were actually talking about when we were analyzing, this day right here. This was news right there. Imagine the market cancels. The market cancels a whole 2 weeks move just by one candle. And they're up there, back at the peak formation, because it is in line with the trend. So they can do whatever they want. They can push however they want because it is in line with the trend. But if it is against the trend, your candles are going to be a little bit smaller. That there, a big candle pushing to the upside. This one, which was last week, it didn't really go that much because it was against the trend. So it went and tested the neck and then folded, came back. Same applies on this day where we were at a peak formation, which is what exactly happened. Every time when you are actually in the direction of the market, I don't know if this is news or not, but I would love to think so. Right there. All right. and another one right there. As long as you are in the direction of the trend, the impact of news is gonna be very big. So focus on the trend, guys. If you are forming a peak or you are moving level 1, level 2, level 3, and then there's news and you are in the trend, as long as your entry is safe, then fair enough, hold. But if your entry is not safe, then you might as well get out and just wait. If the news stop hunt against the trend, get your entry. If news stop hunt, if news move towards the trend, then that's good news. So that is how you have to think when you are in the market. And I said we're not gonna talk about gold, but just to show you, Friday news actually caused this move right here. I remember how many times I said this, that guys, the highs of gold are going to be broken. The highs of gold are going to be broken. I said this several times. And I'm not blaming you for seeing a sell. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, this is the tiny sell move there, and this is the whole move after news. Imagine how much you missed because you wanted to catch this. And again, there's nothing wrong trading news. Nothing wrong. It's very good. If you want to trade news, fair enough. But keep in mind the trend. Where are we going? The trend. And they gave you a setup the day after. They close there. They give you a nice W on 15 minutes time frame. They go up. They close the market there. On the following day, they just, yes.
Sorry for this. If you look at that gold, they have been respecting the high for the past 3 weeks, which made many of us to see sell in that direction. And if we see they will just start one level, then they will do a deep pullback. They will count one level, they will do a deep pullback. They only count 2 levels, even though if I'm very correct, so on the 30th of August, they only count 2 levels that day. So anything apart from that is only one leg pullback. Which until they destroyed this high, that was when my own highs also was opened. Because I could remember that me and B, we lost a very huge money on this on this thing.
No, it's all right. It's okay. That's Forex trading. It's okay. That's Forex trading. You'll never get it right all the time.
I accept that. I accept that. I never feel bad about it because I learned a lot of things from there. And the number one thing that I learned from there that I want every other people that we should always keep our option open, like you always said. So that taught me a great lesson that let me keep my option open, and which although I have recovered back, and I've seen that he himself also has recovered back. So, but the main thing there is that why, and it's not even giving us a very good, clear information. The only thing it gave to us is if we look at the 6th of September, he only gave us a peak formation there. And if I want to look at that peak formation, it doesn't mean anything to me until it now happens and I see it as a multi-day, which is from the September 2nd to 6th of September. That was when he gave us maybe daily or 4 hours W. So from there is where I now saw, okay, now the question is, can we just say that it's just giving us a first level on 1 hour or second level on 1 hour?
You mean here, like right now?
Yes, right now, where the present demand. Now, starting from this peak formation from here, let me mark it. Looking at this, please, as information, because me, I saw this as a, I saw it as a 4 hours W. So can we now say this is our level 1, this is our level 2, then the pullback, this is level 3. Are we saying that they extended to give us a hem and come down? I want to hear from you. That was the reason why I said, okay, maybe thank God that the Spirit of God has rest upon you as I'm praying here.
I would say yes and no. I would say yes and no. Yes, in the sense that this is your peak formation. 1, 2, and then 3. All right. I expected a sell there. Okay. According to what I'm counting now, I'm expecting a sell here, right? But then they went 3.
Yes.
But if you look closely from the pictures or the video that I recorded about this, I clearly said, this is your peak. I actually counted 15 minutes level, and I said 1, and I said 2, and I said 3, and then I said reset. I said I expect 1, I expect 2, and then I expect 3. Then we can come down. Does that make sense?
Okay. Okay.
So that buy on the next day, I was actually expecting that buy to be there. And I know
I
some
even
people
took
were
the
trying to
I took the
sell,
buy.
which is
I took the buy.
yes, I was
I saw it on
expecting a
5
buy
minutes,
from
the
this
peak formation
point
on 5
to
minutes.
that point. Yes, even today, I'm still expecting a buy.
Expecting so.
I'm still expecting a buy. It might be a stop hunt. It might be anything, but yes, the market should turn around anytime from now. But
Definitely, I'm
before
also
it
expecting
turns
it.
around, before it turns around, I'm expecting them to push further up and then form a New York setup. Then we can drop. Or rather, if they want, they can come and respect that area there and then go back up, whichever way they want to do it. But at the end of the day, I want to see them end up above this price. Then I can look to sell.
Okay.
That's the whole idea. I can look to sell. I didn't use 1 hour counting levels here. Reason being, if I use 1 hour counting levels, I will
It will
stop
not be
there.
clear.
And then I'll have to explain what's going on with this. Remember what I taught you? I said sometimes they form a peak, they move 1, they move 2, they move 3. Like, okay, let me draw according to this. They move to 3, they reset, then they move to 1, they move 2, they move 3. So that's the type that they gave you there. They actually gave you a peak level 3 there, and then they push down to a reset. And now we have seen 1, we have seen 2. We want to see that third push before we can see a sell.
Okay.
They're not going to be easy to identify these things, but put in the work on your charts.
Coach, I think
Mark
what
your
I
charts
just
for fun. Mark your charts for fun. That is what
Coach,
I do. I mark
there is
charts for
something that I
fun.
just
Right?
I devised, I brought out of this thing. One thing I discovered is that once I see a turnaround and I also see a very strong momentum in line with the trend, what I will do is I'll just go and sit down with 15 minutes and 5 minutes, waiting for the TDI to waiting for a price line to come and bounce on TDI. Then I'll look for my W formation, and it's working perfectly.
Yes.
Once I see the trend that, okay, I've
Focus
seen my
on the
level 1,
trend. Yes.
let them come and bounce on the, let price line come and bounce on the lower band. If it is uptrend, let it come and bounce on the lower band, which is you taught us to be midpoint or band. So once it came there, I will look for my W formation. I will just pick my trade and put it at the low of either of the 2 leg. I'll put my stop loss there, and it has been working and it's wonderful.
Yes. Focus on the trend, guys. The trend is very important. It is the only thing that will save you from all this stress. And if you are not sure, send in your charts. I can comment on them. I may not be 100% right all the time, but at least I can give you a comment. Don't work in isolation and say, this is what I see. So yeah, that's it. And then work in isolation. Every time when I come to a chart and I sit down there and I say, yeah, I'm expecting this market to sell, I always ask myself this question: what can make this market buy? All right. That's the question that I always ask myself. I will show you an example. But if anyone wants to exit the meeting and go and sleep, please feel free to do that. This is now a chart. We are done. If you look at GBP NZD, I was actually on this trade, and it did very well from here up to there. And guess what? My target was to hit the low, but the low did not hit. And immediately on the following day, I saw they kept on chopping. Then I saw 1, 2, 3 candles pushing up, and I was like, this is no longer making sense to me. And I closed the trade, all right? Because I realized that the dealer wants to come back to my side. And then what did I do? I shifted my time frame, and I said, I will go to 1 hour time frame. And I said, on 1 hour time frame, I'm seeing a peak formation. But here, there's something that looks like a reset now.
Reset.
And it's respecting the neck of my M, all right? I'm keeping my options open, and I'm out of the trade now, and I see, oh yeah, it starts buying, and then it comes back for an ID50, and I was like, yeah, I can take the ID50, but because we are still within the same range, I will not attempt it. Right.
Yeah.
I just let it be. Now, someone might ask why I didn't take this ID50. Remember yesterday I gave a setup on step index. We're not going to discuss volatility today. Step index, where I expected the market to, in fact, the market did something like this. It came down, it went up, it came down here, and then it went like this, and then it went like this, and then it went like this. And then now it's back somewhere here, all right? I expected the ID50, this ID50, but my kind of ID50, or the ID50 that I like, is this one. Or the ID50 that I trade, all right, is this one. I'll show you here. This kind of ID50 is the one that I trade. Look at that, hit, hit, break the high, and then come back to retest, and then push up. That's the kind of ID50 that I take. I want to see that break off the high and then a retest. That's the ID50 that I'll take. But as long as the ID50 comes and respects the high here, all right, respects the high, and then does this, I know that is a 15 minutes ID50. I will not take that one because it's not safe for me. I need to see the 1 hour ID50 instead. I want the 1 hour ID50, not the M15. Yes, the M15 is still okay, but I'm not sure if that 50 EMA is going to be broken, because usually that's where your neck will be sitting, at the 50 EMA. And there is nothing called a coincidence, guys. Look at how, when they got to the 15 EMA, they actually started reacting there. Someone got out because of that candle close there. And they were like, I think that is going to continue to sell. And they went out because that's what the market is. It's designed in a way that it has to respect highs and lows. So for me to take this trade, I need to see them break that high and close above it. Even if they do just one candle, just this one, and then they decide to come back down, I can take that kind of ID50 because you have broken the high and closed above. I'm safe now. I know, yes, this is an uptrend. I don't know if that makes sense. That is my kind of
It's
trade.
making 100% sense.
Yeah, that's my kind of trade. So this one right here, I'm not taking it simple because, okay, I was not going to take it simple because it respected the high and then went down for an ID50 and went up. But if, for example, what's happening now, if they come and do this now, or maybe I should have entered quickly as soon as that candle opened, I
Okay,
could have
Coach,
taken
quick
that
one.
because I
Please,
can.
I want to ask
Yes.
a question there. This where you are presently right now, what type of because I could discover that you made a statement sometimes ago that you always love a candle to come and touch the 50, not the wick. Like you
Yes.
love the one that the one that candle they came there, not that the one that they use wick to touch. Why is it like that?
It's a matter of preference, to be honest with you. Yes, a matter of preference. It's a type of trade that I want to trade. That's all.
Okay.
It's a type of trade that I want to trade. I want
Because
to
I've tried it
see.
and it's worked for me. But I said I will ask you, why do you choose that? I think I understood now. It's a kind of a decision that you just, and it's working.
You see something like this right here?
That one touched with wick.
All right. Yes, it touched with wick. Fair enough. But the only way I would have traded it is if it gives me a pattern like this one, whereby it touched and then the next candle came in and closed in the same area again. What it simply means is this pair spent about not 15 minutes. This is 1 hour time frame. Yeah, so it spent about 2 hours. Yeah, it spent about 2.5 hours in that area. Now that I will take because it has spent more time. The weak ones are those ones where you've got a neck and then it just goes whip and it's off. Just like in the news, right? It just goes whip and then it goes away. I do not trade such. Why? I have learned from my mistake, guys. And I can guarantee you this. The market will give you that and then it will go whip and go down and then it will start trading slowly back into that area there until it closes the candle there. Then it will give you a larger wick and you're already in a sell. It will give you a larger wick, hit your stop, and then start to trade away. Because you saw that weak touch there and you thought, that is it. We are now about to go. But no, the market was just showing you that that's the direction we are trending. But the setup is not yet fully formed. So that's why I don't want wicks touching my ID50. For example, this one right here. All right. I know this is not an ID50 because an ID50 is this one instead. And this one as well stayed for like 4 hours in that same spot, which is very good. But look at this right here. All right. That was news. And it just went whip, and it went down. I do not touch anything like that because there is a high chance the candle will close and then green candles will start to work themselves up until they break that high before
so where
they come
where
back
do you
down.
now come in this scenario now?
In this scenario,
yeah,
I will wait for a setup in this area right here. I look at the candles after this one. What are they doing? Are they giving me a chance to get in or not?
Okay.
That is what I look at.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if there are any other examples. Look at this one right here. This was a very good buy move. All right. But look at this. The week. All right. Now, I would probably have taken the 15 minutes time frame. I don't know if I shift to the 15 minutes time frame whether we'll see this. Maybe we might. Is it this? No. 1 hour. Where were we?
On the 7th of January.
7th of January. So was that this year?
Okay, can we go back to 1 hour? There is a way that I do it that it will take me down there immediately. Let me just quickly share that. Can we, if we can go back to January?
I think we were.
7th
So
of
it's January.
7th of
Yes,
January.
6th January.
Okay, now coach, drag it towards the end. Drag it towards the end.
Which is the right?
Which is the left. Drag towards the the
Oh,
left.
you mean the left?
Yes. So when you drag it, just make sure that place you want it to show. You now click 15 minutes. If they don't give you, that means
All
the
right,
information is not going to be shared.
let me
So that
just
means the
do this.
information doesn't want to
Put a
show.
box there. Yeah, don't think it wants to show.
So if you can try it with another time, you can try it with another information now. So just drag it there. Even though you don't need to put box there, it will take you direct to the place.
Yeah, there it is. There. I've just passed it. Yeah, right there. All right. I want to express a certain point. Yeah, for those who want to go and sleep, guys, you can go and sleep, all right? Now, notice something here. So you have marked the high right there. All right.
Yes.
And remember what I said, why I'll not take the ID50. This is your ID50
Because
right
you
here,
respect the
but they respected the high. So the only way I will take this one, which is the wick and these candles here, is because they broke the high here.
Okay.
Oh, come on. What's going on? Right, they broke the high there. My line is so tiny.
Yeah, you can.
They broke the high there. And then they came back to the 50 EMA. Now, that is the kind of ID50 that I will take on the 15 minutes time frame.
Okay.
All right? Or on the 1 hour, wherever. Yeah. At least I want that neck to be taken out for me to get this whole move up. But otherwise, if the high is not taken out, then that is not my kind of trade. It's not like I trade ID50s only, not really, but I'm just trying to show you the kind of ID50 that I would trade if I would see an ID50 in the market. All right. Anyway, guys, let's go and sleep.
Thank you so
I'll post
much.
your
I celebrate you.
recording on YouTube unlisted. Then you can watch it from there, and we'll see.